And welcome back to Baton Rouge as we continue with the pregame press conference for Ohio State. Once again, defeating Missouri State on Saturday, they advance to face LSU Monday night, 7 o'clock Central at the Maravich Assembly Center here in Baton Rouge. Happy to be joined by Ohio State head coach Kevin McGuff. Once again, we'll address questions here in person from the media. Please raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone to you for those joining us via Zoom. If you have a question, you may hit the raise hand on your Zoom, and we will come to you when we are done. Coach has said he'll just pass on an opening comment. Would like to open it up to the floor, so let's go with questions for head coach Kevin McGuff.
Yeah, Coach, just some general comments on what you saw last night, LSU, how they came through and beat Jackson State to move on to play you.
One, it was a great environment, and which I figured it would be. And the LSU fans really showed up and to create a great opportunity for both teams to play in front of a great crowd. So I thought that was very impressive, and I know it'll be similar tomorrow night. And LSU did what they always do and what Kim's teams always do. They played incredibly hard. They were physical. They defended at a high level. They were really, really aggressive on the boards. And then, they had a combination of driving the ball and making open shots from their perimeter players who were very, very talented.
Coach, I saw you scouting the game last night in person and with your team. Crowd noise today at practice. The girls said that was something a little new.
Yeah. No, we figured, we were sitting thinking about, like I said, being there yesterday, and the crowd really rallied behind the team late in the fourth quarter when they needed it, and it got very loud. And we've played in front of some loud environments this year, but it's been a little while, and so we just wanted to get the kids a little more used to it.
Obviously, your win was important yesterday, but then you got a chance to watch your daughter's team play Belmont, and now some of your family's here. So what's this like for you, for them?
Yeah, no, yesterday was a great day for our family. For those who don't know, my daughter's a freshman. She plays at Belmont, and they had a huge upset win versus Oregon, and that was, our game was nerve-wracking down to the last minute. Then I flip that on, and it goes to double overtime. So I'm all shot. My nerves are shot. So I got to regroup today and get ready for tomorrow. But it really just an exciting time for our family. My wife and my three youngest kids were in Knoxville, and then they made their way over here, so now they're here. So it's been a good couple days for the family, and so we'll see if we got any more magic left tomorrow.
Coach, have you coached against Coach Mulkey before when she was at Baylor? And just your thoughts on
I coached, one time, where were we, Matt? The Gulf Coast Classic? Yeah, in Fort Myers in a tournament. We lost to Baylor's in the finals of that tournament, probably 4 or 5 years ago, probably. So, and, her teams, like I said, they look similar. They're huge. They're physical and aggressive. They play really hard. Kim gets as much out of her teams as any coach in the country, and I think this year's no different. She's done an amazing job with this group, and I think they've had an outstanding year to this point, and she'll just continue to do amazing things with this program.
Kim talked about your 2-2-1 press and just the way you all use it and can at any point in time and committed to it. What do you like about it, and what do you like how it affects other teams?
Well, it speeds the game up, and we like to play fast. The other part is, we're not really big and deep around the basket, and it can kind of put a little more emphasis on ball handling and perimeter play than allowing them to just walk it up and pound it inside all night. And so those would probably be the two biggest things that it does for us.
I guess two things. One is, you said hopefully a little more magic tomorrow, but you don't really need magic to win tomorrow, right?
We might.
And no, it's a very respectful thing to say to LSU, obviously. You obviously think highly of them. And it's interesting because Kim seems to take issue with the idea that struggling against a 14 seed like they did last night is any kind of sign of vulnerability, because he just feels like both teams, and especially Jackson State, played so well. What would be your feeling as a coach on that?
I agree with her. I agree. Number one, Jackson State played incredibly well, and they're very talented. So it wasn't like they just played above their head. If you looked at looked at their schedule, they played a bunch of SEC teams very close, but they're talented. I mean, they are very, very talented. I can't imagine there's a more talented 14 seed than Jackson State. So I think Kim's right on. That wasn't some fluky thing. They're very good. They played really well, played really hard, and I think it was actually great for LSU because they got tested and they really had to execute down the stretch with win or go home. I think that was good for them, to be honest with you.
It appears on paper that you have a deep bench. You like to play a lot of girls, a lot of minutes. What advantage is that for you, especially given that you have some real proven players in JC and Taylor as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that we can use our bench a little bit tomorrow, especially if we can get the press going and get the game, the tempo up. Maybe the depth will help us. But like I said, LSU, I think they're deep enough too. I mean, they, especially with their post players, they keep rotating the post players, and that has a real that can really wear on you as an opponent, just the way they rotate their post players and they keep them fresh.
Yeah, I know you probably heard me ask your players about JC. It just seemed like she really stood out, especially in the last 3 quarters of that game. And so I was wondering, similarly, if you could comment on what kind of player she's been this year for people maybe who are going to get a better look at her in the second round.
Yeah, no. One, she's an incredible kid. Comes from a great family. Her father's a former Division III basketball coach, so she's been well schooled in the game of basketball since birth, and it shows. Just an amazing worker. Just can't be anybody in the country working as hard as she is. You gotta chase her out of the gym on a daily basis. And then I think the probably really interesting thing about her this year is that before the season started, our starting point guard tore her ACL, Madison Green. And JC, so then we had to shift JC to the point guard position, which I was a little nervous about because we count on her so much for scoring and so forth. And she made the adjustment, and she's still been able to run the team, make sure we execute at a high level, make other people around her better, and score. So that was a really just kind of speaks to her character, to be able to make that adjustment and not miss a beat. It's not easy. It's a really tough thing to do, but she's obviously handled it incredibly well, and it just that probably kind of, as much as anything, sums up who she is as a player.
I know she obviously gets a lot of attention for scoring. Anyone can look at the stats and see that, but could you comment on her as a defensive player and the kind of defense you play?
Yeah, the thing is, if you really watch her, I think people don't realize she's very, very quick. She's got great speed and quickness, and she's got great anticipation on the defensive end. Normally 1 or 2 times a game, she's running through a pass, a pick six down the other end for a layup. She's also really, really good in our press because of her speed and agility and just ability to anticipate.
Any other questions for Coach here? We're clear on Zoom. If not, again, Coach, congratulations on the win Saturday. Thank you for your time, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you all for joining us. Once again, it's LSU and Ohio State, 7 o'clock Central tomorrow night here in Baton Rouge at the Maravich Assembly Center. We'll be back post-game for post-game comments from both LSU and Ohio State. In the meantime, a copy of this press conference will be posted to the NCAA Media Hub, ncaa.veritone.com, and a transcript will be provided shortly by ASAP. Enjoy your Sunday. We will see you Monday night back here in Baton Rouge. And until then, thank you for joining us.